All right, welcome to Town of Andrew work session, August 20th. Hereby call this meeting to order. Tonight we are going to be joined by the Andrew Rotary Club, and they're going to deliver invocation and Pledge of Allegiance for it. So if you guys would like to join us up at this microphone, and at least one of you's got to speak into it or the internet won't hear you.
Which do we do first?
We usually start with pledge and then invocation.
Okay.
But, you know.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, thank you for another another Board of Commissioners meeting. Thank you for everyone that is in attendance tonight. Pray for our leaders that are in office. Watch over them and protect them. Watch over the kids going back to school. Watch over them and having them a safe place to go. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Did you guys have something you wanted to announce while you were up here? Got the microphone now. I'll give you a second.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm Angie, and I'm heading up this year the Flags for Heroes that we're doing through, October 2nd through probably the 12th or longer. We haven't made that decision, but our opening ceremony is October 5th, and this is for anyone who wants to honor a hero in their life. And so we do have the registration flyers out there. They're on the Facebook page, and we'd love for any support, any sharing that you have out there, and to honor your hero with the the opening ceremony being October 5th at 10 a.m. down at Jeff Barnes Auto.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, we've all got the agenda before us. Are there any amendments to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. All right, first thing we have is a presentation. Tonight's going to be fun. We get to pick styles and stuff tonight, so this is going to be fun. We've got, let's see, who's presenting this one?
I'll start, Mayor, and then I'll hand it off.
All right. Always happy to see you, Jimmy.
Always good to be seen, sir. Thank you. Good evening, Board. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We've got some progress reports for you on our police department, construction and design. So before you, we're going to bring before Andy Speck with Bobbitt Construction, and then his team with Davis Kane, who's doing design, for a couple options on our police department building there at the corner of MacGyver and South Broad Street. So they're going to present a couple options for you to choose tonight. We're going to show you a site plan and then just kind of roughly go over the floor plan, what we've got laid out. So staff has worked hard on trying to move forward and present this to you, something that you'll be proud of, and our citizens will be proud of as well. So with no further ado, no questions, I'll introduce Andy Speck. He's with Bobbitt, and I'll let him and his team take over.
Great. Thank you, Jimmy. For those of you watching online or watching this later, they're going to present to us here, but I think probably most of the documents or the important stuff they're going to show us is in the agenda that's on the town website.
Good evening. I'm going to introduce my design partners here from Davis Kane, Bradley, and Votzel. They'll give kind of an update on where the design stands at the moment, and I'll talk about schedule once we're done, and they have a decision for you to make a little later on once you've seen all the good stuff.
Good afternoon, evening. I'm Bradley McClung. I'm an architect, project manager for this project with Davis Kane. I brought Votzel with me. He's a design professional. I guess the easiest way for everybody to see the presentation will be, we brought boards, but we can also go through the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll see if the technology works here. Starting with the site plan, we took a lot of input from Chief Thompson, Jimmy, Elizabeth, Chief Thompson's team, put together floor plans and a conceptual site plan. In this plan, the public entry would and the police entry would be off of Broad Street. Does this have a laser on it by any chance? No. But you would have a security gate that allows the police to enter into a secure area, and then they would exit out onto McIver Street through another security gate. Public parking would be on the plan east side, and then the secure police parking would be on the plan west, and parallel parking would get you into the rear entry of the building for holding and intake. Put together a couple floor plans. They're a little bit hard to see here. I can kind of talk a little bit, or we can just get on to the juicy parts here, the exterior, and Chief Thompson will be happy to share these with you as we get further along in the design process. So option one is a mostly brick veneer. We're looking at maybe a cast stone or a CMU at the front. Gives it a really nice, heavy civic presence. This is the hipped roof version. A couple different views here. And then let's see if this will put together a short 15-second just a video so you can see the outside of the building, kind of what it would be like from the roads, the street presence. You see the fencing there along the sides, secure entry. And the neighborhood behind you see as well here.
Very nice.
Thank you. This is Botzall's handiwork here. And this will take us into option two, a little bit more traditional gable roof style. Couple different entries, street presence, and then the video for this one as well. We're looking at, again, mostly brick veneer, using some up-down lighting on the sides and face of the building as well to give you a nice nice presence. Keep it burning all night. Kind of show the importance of the facility here in town. And those are the options. We're happy to leave the boards and the site plans with you.
All right, so I had a question, and it could be totally unfounded because I'm not an expert in this, and I trust that many experts have worked on it up to this point. But when I looked at this site plan, my initial thought was that, you know, the one lot on the side that goes out to McIver is the secure police car lot. And the public lot, there's 4 parallel spaces behind the building that is for public.
No,
that's secure.
There's 8 over here, and then there's 4 parallels on the back of the building.
Correct.
Yeah.
Are those public or secure?
That's secure.
Okay.
Yes.
So it doesn't look like a lot of parking, especially if the police department grows and they have 14 spaces for cruisers. I don't know how many we have right now, but I imagine it would grow some, and then 8 spaces for the public. And the reason it is kind of more concerning than normal is because there's not already available parking on McIver or Broad Street right there. And so I understand that there's not a whole lot of public traffic at a police station. 8 just seems really few. And so if all the experts tell me we've researched this and there's plenty of parking space, I will trust you on that. It's just my initial thought was it doesn't look like a lot of parking and not a lot of backup parking available near this site right now.
Mayor, we did have a conversation with Chief and his staff on how many residents do you see come in that, you know, for the parking. We're always concerned about that.
Right.
And he said usually it may be a couple people at a time, a couple vehicles at a time that
Okay.
come in for this. Also, when you start adding more parking, then your impervious surface changes, and we're working on, you know, less than 0.82 acres.
Yeah.
So anything that's, you know, you start to get over that with your impervious surfaces, then that changes, you know, some of the complexity of the design. You may have to end up having retention ponds and different things like that.
Yeah.
So we're tight on this, and we did have that conversation to see to get on as much parking as we could. And obviously, as we talked about, you know, part of our future goals, if we do that, looking at expanding. So we're going to have conversations on Thursday with the team to see, hey, we're doing this. If we want to expand, which we'll be expanding back towards 55, if that's the case in the future, then we'll have to acquire more property, different things like that. So if we start adding more parking stalls, we may have to acquire more property quicker than, you know,
All right.
what this project will allow.
That kind of addresses my backup, which was if we went with this now, did we have future option to expand parking directly off McIver, or do we have plans to widen Broad there where there could be parallel, but it doesn't really help with the impervious?
Another option that we're also looking at to whenever they have like an EOC event, so the parking, the property that we have along South Broad Street, we were looking at possibly doing something there so you can have, you know, some parking there as needed. And you're walking half a block to be able to get to the police station, so. Well.
All right, like I said, I defer to the experts on that. It was just a concern I had, but I trust the process.
Good questions.
All right, so does anyone else have any site?
So my question was about lighting, with it being that close to a residential. I'm not sure if you have plans for like street lights that are going to burn 24 hours as well. I know the building lights will be, so.
We're not showing the street lights right now. What potentially will work as we get our civil engineer more involved. They'll work with Duke and figure out, you know, what's required for the parking lot lights. And then the decorative lights on the front will be just up, down.
Right.
So they wash the walls and then they'll die underneath the overhangs of the roof.
Right.
So it shouldn't be anything, you know, spilling over into neighboring properties. And we can put them on a photo cell. So
those won't as much as standing street lights will. So,
yes.
and with those burning 24 hours at the back of that parking lot, I can see that, you know, just a concern I had.
We would be more interested in just having building light and
right.
path lights back there for police security.
But if we do get into a scenario where we're putting site lighting in, a photometric plan would be produced so we could see what kind of lights at the perimeter of the property.
I noticed you got two designs on the, what is it, the hip roof and the regular A-frame roof. What's the difference internally inside the building? Is there any gain?
No
There's
difference,
more for
no
aesthetic?
difference from a floor plan perspective. They're the same. Just the aesthetic looks.
Mm-hmm.
What about price point?
Haven't gotten there yet. We're still very early in design. If I can, I'll go into our next step in this is we're getting into schematic design. So we're right on schedule for where we want to be. Big high level, we'll wrap up the design early next year. We'll probably be back here, I hope in April, to present the final GMP to you and get approval to that. And that gives us about a year to build it.
That's guaranteed maximum price, in case anyone didn't know. That's okay.
All right, so we just need to decide if we like the hip roof or the gable roof.
That's great. That's what we're asking tonight.
Yeah.
Give us option 1 or option 2.
Yeah. I like option 2. I like the gable. I like the sign centered in it. I like the architecture of it better. But this is just a matter of personal taste. So I prefer option 2.
The seal and name of the building are more predominant on the gable versus.
And I like how the little eyebrow separates on that.
Yeah, there's your option 1, and that's your 2. 1, I think looks more residential to me. Just my thought.
I think staff was recommending option 1, and the reason being, talking with Chief, so it's not with option 2. It looks taller and looks more imposing. That's why we kind of dropped the roof a little bit to make it less imposing. But you know, this is for you guys to decide. So just let you know what staff would recommend.
I kind of like. I prefer.
I don't mind a little imposing.
Yeah, but I kind of like the imposing presence of it. a little bit. I mean,
Again, that's why we left it up to you to make that decision, so.
I like number 2.
Anybody else have any more input? Oh, would you take a vote, see where we're at? These design choices are harder than like the budget. The budget was easier.
Mayor, I'm going to explain to the board, just like I explained to the PD staff.
Uh-huh.
All right, so if we keep making changes, we're going to have $6 million set of plans and no building, so.
We're not making changes. We're going to pick one right now, Jimmy.
No, just kidding. So, look, we want you guys to be happy with those choices.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go with it.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice that difference. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they could do the gable front with the
I like to.
with the white arch over the
Yeah,
window,
'cause you
right?
see
It's
how
not a big
The
deal.
arch doesn't have the white.
There we go.
That's it.
I think we have them in our.
Are we done? I mean, 2 white.
Do we need to specify the change to the eyebrow when we make our decision? So if you look at the eyebrow over the arch
Look
window,
at the arch. It's not on that one.
it's black.
Yeah.
I like that.
Number 2 with the white, right?
Make the motion.
I make a motion that we go with number 2 and have the accent of the white over the arch.
All right, any discussion?
Option 2,
Yes, sir.
okay, with the white over the
Arch, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
The gabled solution.
All right, all those in favor then, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
Well, thank you so much. All right, we certainly appreciate you.
You're bringing architectural designs
Hey,
to a bunch
great
of
job,
elected
guys.
officials, Jimmy.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Can we display that somewhere so that people can see it?
Yeah, you guys gonna let us
Like
keep the
library
board?
or
Yeah, we'll get a little white out and Jimmy will. Okay, thank you, Jimmy.
We'll see if we can maybe get a couple of easels and put them right there in front of Town Hall as you come in the entrance there. That
That would be great, yeah.
We'll do that then.
All right, we're gonna give Jimmy a break. It's Jeff's turn. Jeff is we're moving into new business. Number 1, Jeff is gonna speak to us about the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Tonight is a start of a long process that we'll undertake for the next year or so. We have chosen Withers and Ravenel to help us with our new comprehensive plan. Withers and Ravenel was a consulting company that you all chose as to be a part of the design team that we could pull from for various projects in town, whether engineering or planning. So Withers and Ravenel is a reputable company that does comprehensive plans throughout the region, and we are working with Jay McLeod, their community planning director from Withers. As part of the comprehensive plan process, we would like for the board to select a steering committee. That steering committee will be instrumental in helping us guide the plan through the process. I anticipate that that committee meeting at least 5 times during the process. And typically a steering committee is going to be made up of folks like you, from this board, and other boards from the town, planning board, Parks and Rec board, community development board, and then others that you would like to have serve. Generally, our steering committees are usually 8 to 12 persons, so there would be some need to probably pull some folks from some residents or citizens from the community. As we do with our advisory committees and steering committees, we do advertise for folks to apply to be on those committees. So what we would like for you all to do is direct the town clerk to advertise over the next couple of weeks for folks to serve on the steering committee, and then we'll bring a a scope of work to you all, along with the steering committee suggestions at a future board meeting, hopefully at your September 3rd meeting.
All right, any questions for Jeff?
Is there any prerequisite to be on this committee?
There is not, no.
Okay.
Have a passion about Andrew, love of Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, with that, I'll make a motion to direct the town clerk to advertise for the comprehensive plan steering committee.
All right, there's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you, Jeff.
Board.
All right. Jimmy, we're going to bring you back up here again for number 2, flooding mitigation of Crestview Drive and McIver Street.
Yes, sir. All right. Board, before you is the an action form regarding the flooding at Crestview Drive and McIver Street. I think most of you are familiar with the issue that we have there. Right there at Crestview Drive, there's 3 12-inch pipes that go underneath Crestview Drive, equaling 36 inches of capacity. Upstream culvert pipe is also 36 inches. And when that water comes through, it's hard for those 3 individual 12-inch pipes to handle that additional flow. So what we're requesting for the board tonight is allow us to hire McAdams to proceed with a preliminary study to see what we need to do to help alleviate that problem. Before, I think years ago, when that was put in, even before my time, there was a conflict with utilities there. But a lot of times with the improvements of materials and different things like that, we're going to do this study and see what we can do to help alleviate some of that flooding there. But this study will help guide us on which direction we need to go. This was not in the original budget, but we've got some money in our POW bill funding that we plan on using to offset this cost. So you're looking at about $18,500 for them to do the study, which will include locating all utilities, see what are conflicts, and then they'll actually we'll have to come back before you again as part of the design to get that designed in. So, but right now we're just asking for approval to proceed with the study.
Okay.
And so I just need a motion from the board allowing us to approve McAdams, and then the manager will sign the contract, and we'll have them go ahead and proceed. I think you've got a couple pictures on the back of your packet, and the first one with the car in it, I went and took the other day. That's actually Crestview, and then as you can see on the second picture, that where the flooding occurred during the hurricane, and so we've seen it a lot worse in there. With water standing, so hopefully this is going to help. The study will help us find fix some of the issues there.
Now, is it all where it goes? Is it because it's backing up, not being able to go through the pipes there, or is there downstream? Is it backing up because it's downstream?
It may be a combination of both. With that, that ditch line along from Crestview back to 55 is private property and has not been cleaned out, but we're going to do our best to control what the town can control that's within our right-of-way. So if we can do this and say, hey, if we increase this pipe to this, how can we do that, put in conflict boxes where sewer lines are? Because we've got a sewer line that goes right above those 3 pipes. So that's why they couldn't put a larger pipe at that time. Here we'll maybe put a larger conflict box, and the pipe may be aerial, and we'll just have to change the materials from, I think that one's either PVC or clay, into like a ductile iron, and it'll be just imagine like just a straight junction box, and you'll have pipes coming out on either one, and then you'll have your sewer line that goes through the junction box. And so that way it just lets the flow go through and doesn't affect your utilities. And with the water line, we can probably dive it down underneath or go up above, and that's partly what the study will help us to determine.
It's fully covered by the POW bill, the 18.5?
Correct.
I'm glad to see we're taking action on some stormwater stuff. Anybody else have any questions for Jimmy about this? All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve McAdam and proceed with the preliminary study for Crestview Drive and Diver Street.
All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you, Jimmy.
Excellent. Thank you.
Are you doing the next one too, Jimmy?
I'm doing the next one. Yes,
it's
sir.
Jimmy all night long almost. All right. Number 3, another real easy one for us. It's
All right.
take us a couple seconds.
Trying to make
here.
it easy. You're going to pick some colors.
Yeah, we're all absolutely positive of what we're going to do. So lay it on us.
All right. So before you, here's a picture of our existing Kennebec tank. That's a 250,000 gallon tank. You can see the colors that we've got here, and we've got this is Anger on that tank. So I just wanted to make you familiar with our existing tank. And then before you've got some different color choices as we go through. First choice is behind door number 1. All right, so that's going to be a 500,000 gallon tank there along Junior Road, and we kind of kept the same colors there, except we added our seal to that one to see how you like that. We can always go back with this is Anger or whatever you want to put on that as far as verbiage, but staff and I looked at this and we thought the seal looked pretty good. We've actually got the seal on the other Junior Road tank. We've got that one there. So the only real big difference is, see if I can laser this, is right here. We added that. The other tank, it stopped right here and was white all the way down. So we just added that. You can, if you want that whole bulb to be that color, we can do that.
Like a golf tee.
Yeah.
So that's your first option. So we'll call that like the Kennebec option.
Okay.
All right. This is the second option here. Same thing. You have your seal. This one is what they call like a tank white, which is similar to the same color that we've got at the Door Street tank. We just had that one painted, so it'll look pretty similar to that one there. And the next one that we've got is a blue one. A lot of times you'll see a lot of these blue, and so this is the Town of Anger seal. So there you go as an option for that. So that's your third option.
All right, question 1 for you. If you're done. I got questions. I'm ready.
I'm done.
Okay. I like the seal, but the one on Johnny Road is faded, right? So how long will the color in the tree last? Is it a decal? Is it painted?
So it's actually painted and stenciled on. So we have a contract with Utility Services, all right, and so every, I think, 4 to 5 years, they actually go back and repaint the tank.
The whole tank?
The whole tank, seal and all.
Okay.
The reason why the one at Junior Road looks faded is because we were anticipating back in 18 taking that tank completely offline. So
all right.
We have not. That's the reason why it's.
So why we paint Dora, Jimmy? I had to ask. I'm sorry.
It was included in the contract.
It's included in the contract.
All
and
right.
You already paid for it.
Well,
So.
send it to my house next time instead. I got to paint. All right. So you answered my second question, which was how often is it painted? That was something we were discussing earlier. We've all kind of been chatting about this together for a week. Because
we don't know what we want.
there's not a clear, so I know that I would not like it to say this is Anger, and I understand the saying behind this is Anger, but if you don't say it in context, then it looks like you're just labeling on a map. This is Anger, and the other Garner's Tower because this is Garner, and if you're in a plane, you'll know exactly where you are. The water tower, it's like Google Map pin. So I like the seal. It's clean. It's simple. It's our town seal. So I prefer the seal. Color, I understand why we would want to match the other tower we have. That's like colors of that tower. Again, we're talking about personal taste here, really. So from a functional or maintenance standpoint, is there any difference really between any of them?
No, sir. No, sir.
I mean, they repaint it every 4 or 5 years. People have been concerned that the white may get dingy faster. Is that a concern of it having to be cleaned? Because
no, sir. So usually as part of our contract, so they come once a year, they'll do a visual inspection on the tank. The second year, they'll do a washout on the tank. So every other year is a washout, every other year is a visual inspection to make sure that there's no rust or anything else like that where it may need cleaning. And then I think approximately every 4 to 5 years, it'll be repainted. Plus, with the contract we have, if somebody goes up there and runs into it or shoots a gun and puts a hole in it, then they'll come back and repair that at no cost to us. That's just part of our contract.
Shouldn't have said that.
Well,
Jimmy, can we go back to the white one? Could we change out the pedestal and have it another color, like black, and keep the seal?
We can.
Do you see any functional problems with black?
If you give me, we've got a whole year to come up with a color choice, and I can email Nemic back, and they can change some of those. They help me with that. So yes, I can come up with a couple different options that you want. If you want the bulb to be white like that, and then the base to be a black, okay?
You like? Y'all want that little part so it looks like a golf ball, or?
I don't know. If somebody's got to draw it, I might as well draw it black both ways. But I like that. Sorry? Forest green?
I think it's going to get lost in the Well, yeah, but.
So when are we due to have Kennebec painted?
I have to check the schedule on that one to see. So if you want to, we're
if I needed a good reason to choose a color, having one existing is what I'm looking for. Uniformity, right? We know Dorr Street's coming down, although it pains me to know that. I like the thought that they would be the same. So if we do decide to change and go a different direction with this one, which I'm not opposed to, because I don't know if those colors are necessarily my favorite either. It is twice as big as Kennebec, so it will be even more prominent. What does color change equal cost difference when they come and
I can research that and bring that back for you.
So then additionally, I'm also a fan of the seal. What does it look like to have This Is Anger redone to be the seal at Kennebec?
Okay.
So
seal on one side, both or two sides?
Both sides.
This
both
is on
sides.
the, yeah.
Both sides, okay.
Now, do they paint it once they're finished with it, or is it the panels painted as they put it together and then you just touch it up?
What they'll do is that it'll come almost like in a the base. Excuse me. As they put it up, it's got a primer on it.
Right.
The primer almost looks like the base on the Kennebec tank, almost like that clay color. Then they'll come back and paint it as a final coat.
I would like to entertain an audience member who had his hand raised.
So typically now we don't take comments from the audience, sir.
I got a question. Do I need to come up?
Please, Deputy.
I would prefer it. Yeah, we got to get a microphone over there.
It's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff were just chatting. Does the town have any official town colors?
Purple.
Purple.
I know the school colors is purple, but
Right.
that's the
Purple and
question. I don't know if purple's the way.
Well, I was going to say now.
I'm just throwing it out there because I know Fuquay rebranded a few years ago, and their
Right.
colors are
That's
like
what we were
maroon
just
and
talking
navy
about.
blue now or whatever. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if the town actually had any official adopted colors.
No, and that's a good question, and we were discussing that earlier to make this selection before a potential rebrand, which is why
Black and white would be easy
Safe.
to
Safe.
match. Yeah.
Thank you,
you.
Derek.
That was good input. Black and white, I think, would be easier to match. It again. My thing is keeping them the same. So if it's an exorbitant,
In maroon, I do, but not.
Well, now we can take that off.
Yeah,
So in other words,
that would be, yeah.
yeah, we can remove that. So in other words, it would look just like that. So where
I like that better.
So
yeah.
we can take that and have the whole bulb
Yeah.
as that color. So I can
But
remove
definitely
that.
our seal, not.
Okay. So do we still want a black base, white bulb.
I mean, I don't.
I like that.
The black?
I like the black and the white.
Okay, so. if you
Clean
want-
and simple and.
If, okay. All right, so do you want me to, if I'm hearing you correctly, what I'll do then is I'll do a white bulb, black base, okay? And then also bring back the original Kennebec one, remove the little bow tie at the bottom and make that whole bulb where it looks like the Kennebec one. And then, and the seal. All right, so now with the seal, so again, with the seal, I'll just have to find what the cost is of the seal to put that in. So the color of the tank that we choose is in with the cost. Seal will be a little bit different because you got the graphics and everything else. So if I'm hearing that you want a seal, I'll reach out to the tank company, say, hey, we need an estimate on putting the seal on both sides of this tank.
So potentially color change at Kennebec would be.
And we'll find out about the color.
Because that would really be a sway-in decision for me. If it was going to be an exorbitant amount to change the color, I would just as soon go cream and maroon and call it. So I don't know that I'm necessarily want to make a hard decision right now without knowing if it's going to be $50,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, and that's fine. That's why I just want to bring this before you. So we've got time, but I just want to go ahead and get ahead of this.
You're on
instead
it.
of coming up here, hey, they're ready to paint tomorrow. I just need a decision. So we just bring it to you basically a year in advance.
What about doing away with the seal and just like your shirt there, have it says Anger, just written across the tank? Depending on the cost. I mean,
all right.
I'm not opposed to that.
All right, so then, so
I
we'll
mean,
do
just like
seal,
shirt.
and then we'll do just Anger, just like my shirt.
Town of Anger. Just,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, but still, we're going to stay with the same two color choices, and then I'll just put the seal on both, and then I'll put Anger.
Black and white and maroon and cream. Is that what we're okay?
That's correct. And then seal on both. I'll bring you those pictures, and then Anger like this. All right. Okay. All right. And then we'll get the cost of what the seal is going to be versus this. Okay. And then we'll give you the cost on what it would cost to repaint, the Kennebec tank if we wanted to change colors.
Yeah, we would do it like at a scheduled repaint anyway, and then see if there was a price difference at that time.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Well, then I'm going to table this one.
All right. Before I go.
Uh-oh.
All right. I've got my marching orders. Okay. All right.
We might give you more next month. We'll see. Okay. This is decidedly a project, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So. Before, I think, when I talked to the contractor, so obviously Ms. Chevelle's concern was the work that will be going on Sundays with that. So I reached out to the tank contractor. So basically, the way this is going to work, so March of 2025, roughly, and this is on their schedule, that they're going to deliver their steel that week of March, okay? And it's going to take them until August the 6th to have the tank erected. That's through welding and putting everything together. So when you go by and look, it's going to look like a jigsaw puzzle. They'll start putting pieces together. Then they'll take a big crane. They'll set the ball. They'll build the ball on the ground, take a crane, pick it up, set it up just like a golf ball on the tee on there. All right. Now, the way the crews work are they work 7 on and then 7 off. They'll go somewhere else for 7 days. So in essence, even though it's a 20-week time frame, they're only going to be there anywhere from 8 to 10 Sundays doing that, okay? And I'm just trying to keep the project going, and our biggest concern is our residents to make sure that they're not interfered with by any way. And so By August, that should be done, so you're looking at roughly 10 Sundays. If the board is okay with this, myself, I'll be out there Sunday mornings at 7, and to make sure that there's no issues. If we hear any complaints or anything, then we'll say, guys, look, no, we'll have to push you back, not start until this time. So, but if they're far enough back where it's not causing an issue, we'll just keep the work going. But I'm working at what you recommend. We don't, and with it being a town project, we can kind of not work around, but we don't have any restrictions when it comes to being a town project based on our ordinances and policies. So, and then, like I said, we're just trying to work with the contractor schedule, but obviously our residents come first. So, and I think, Ms. LaRue lives the closest, so, we just want to make sure that it doesn't impede, anybody from that standpoint.
Have people mowing lawn and everything at 7 a.m., sometimes 6:30, so, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see what the volume is of the noise.
So you're okay with trying it?
Yeah, try it.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for more information.
Sure.
So obviously the schedule and the dates and all that was not included initially. I was trying to be mindful of my neighbors, and so that was all I was really looking for, was just consideration. So it looks like consideration is being made. So I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and allow them to proceed. If there's any issues from your neighbors that you hear, you let me know. I said my goal is I'm going to be out there that first time, and that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So, because I understand that completely. So, okay. And all right, thank you so much, board. All right, Mayor, I think that's it for me.
I think we're good. I don't know. Surprised me with that last part, so I'm waiting for you to tell me.
I'm done.
All right.
All yours, sir.
Thank you. All right, Veronica has item number 4.
Good evening, everyone. So, the town originally contributed to a 457B retirement account for the town manager through the ICMA RC. Currently, they are no longer accepting contributions, so the board would need to approve the NC 457B employer contribution form. This is
just a
we're already
formality.
contributing for her retirement.
Change forms.
This is just yes.
Okay.
The original situation we had, they're no longer taking those contributions, so we have to go to a different route.
Okay.
So,
any questions? Then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve the Employee Contribution Fund NC 45-7B account for the town manager.
All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. All right, that is the end of our new business. So that's how I'm looking for a motion to go into closed session.
I make a motion we go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A3 to consult with attorney.
All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. So with that, I will close open session and resume later.